My name is Kathie D. Townsend, and I am an activist, organizer for social justice, basic human rights. I'm the executive director for Sister to Sister, which is a lesbian bi trans organization for women of color.
I'm Kaitlin. I'm currently 19. I started to go to school, and then I decided that that particular program wasn't the one for me. So I decided that I needed to step out for a little bit and get a steady job instead of trying to go to school and work at the same time. I grew up in a suburb of Chicago, Elmhurst, Illinois. Very conservative, very Republican. Big city though, 40,000 people or so.
I was born in South Carolina, rural South Carolina, Saluda, and we moved to New York City when I was 13. And that was the year for civil rights and segregation ended. And so, having been in that environment all my life, I moved to New York City, Queens, and went to my first public school and first time I dealt with integration.
I moved out here about a year and a half ago, and it was a family move. My brother's been here for about 10 years, so my mom, my little sister, and I decided to move out here and follow him after my dad passed away.
When I moved to Seattle in 1997 because my brother and his family lived in Tacoma. And so I came out, and got here, and like 2 weeks later, it's like, oh man, I love it out here. And by the third week, I decided to find some work and stay.
Seattle's a very queer-friendly place. It's definitely easy to live on Capitol Hill here, and walk around holding my girlfriend's hand and all that kind of stuff. And I'm seeing pride flags and the stickers in windows and that kind of thing. I think the queer movement definitely still has a ways to go. It's going to take time, and we need to keep fighting it and keep moving forward with that, and keep putting a face to everything so that people understand that there's no, oh my gosh, we're evil and all that, immoral stuff. I'm just a person trying to live my life and trying to get by the best I can, and it's never been a choice.
My activism started back in 1957, 58. I grew up in rural South Carolina, having to walk through doors marked for colored only. Moved into Columbia where we had public transportation, having to sit on the back of the bus.
I do my best to get involved with things around here. I go to Lambert House, which is our, the gay youth drop-in center here. And I'm part of the American Friends Service Coalition, and we go out and do panels in different schools that ask us to come and to share our stories with everyone else, and to kind of give the whole queer community like a name and face, and for people to understand better and have it be more personal.
Blacks are saying the civil rights movement is not the same as the gay and lesbian movement. So look at the two. Yeah, there's differences, but basically it still is about one group of people saying that you have no right to exist. When did I come out? Oh my goodness. That was interesting. Having been in a common law relationship, about 8 years into the relationship, my partner decided to say to me that I had a lesbian streak in me. About 3 years after that, I kind of picked up on it myself. And then 5 years later, it was a done deal. I had met women, I had experienced women. It was never a battle of can I, will I, should I. It was who I was. Like I said, he was right, and I just, bam, I'm here.
My brother is actually gay as well, and I was in 5th grade, and he took me up to Freeway Park, and he sat me down, and he said, I have something to tell you. And he told me that he was gay.
My sister, I had one sister, And she actually had come out years before. So aside from the fact that she came out rather harsh, and it was a little hard for my parents to take it the way she came out, because she's just like, in your face, I'm here. And so they had a little bit of preparation for me coming out.
All I knew about being gay at the time was my brother was, and that was okay because I still loved him. So the seed was planted, and I was like, wow, that kind of makes some sense about me then. And I mulled over that for a couple years. And then I eventually got into 8th grade, and I decided that I had gotten a girlfriend at that point, and decided, I felt comfortable enough to tell people.
First people I had to get through, of course, were my children, and I have 4. Just telling them that things were going to be a little different, and explaining it to them as best they could understand it. They were cool with it because they were kids, and I've never kept anything from my children. When it came to information, discussions, we talked. They got to play with other kids of lesbian moms and families, gay families, and it's so their life didn't end. If anything, it enhanced it more because there were more people in their lives and another side of life that they hadn't experienced.
I came out to my brother first. He was actually a little surprised, which was interesting because I thought I was really obvious. And then I came out to my friends, and then eventually to my parents. They were also fairly surprised. And again, I'm not really sure why, because I was like, ooh, I played with Ken dolls when I was little, guys. I didn't really, understand Barbie very much, and the shoes and the purses and stuff. So I thought I was really obvious. I thought, people would oh, yeah, we knew about that, years before, like they had with my brother.
My daughter was, coming into, 14, 15 in her life. And so her big issue was, Mom, just don't let my friends find out, please. And so she had this code word, which was tomatoes for lesbians. And, we could have a conversation and she could talk away as long as, as we stuck to tomato, then she could say her little code word and she'd be fine. The younger generations are embracing things that to us were negative.
As far as terms go, things like lesbian, dyke, queer are all fine with me.
I'm 54. There's no damn way we would let somebody call us queer 10 years ago. 30 years ago, call somebody queer? Oh, hell no, those are fighting words. But the younger generation, has embraced it. You guys can be queer all you want, but I'm a butch lesbian. Period.
Back home, I got involved with a youth theater, and we went around the city and we took, oral histories and stories from gay people and non-gay people and people with gay friends, of all different ages and races. And so we took these stories and we molded them into a play with 14 stories. And afterward, we would go out into the lobby at the Goodman and have these older LGBT community members come up and shake our hands and tell us thank you. That was amazing. Thank you for telling our stories. And you could just feel the connection there and understand better, where they've come from and, where we're going and where, how they view us more and how similar we really all are. All of our stories are the same. They're just in different times. And it was amazing to realize that.